It's that shit go, no, she on the flow. Yeah, yeah. It's that.
So in today's class, we are going to discuss what is known as inheritance. Okay. So what does the name? Means what does the definition of inheritance says? Let us see that particular definition. Later we will discuss how exactly that particular inheritance will be implemented and what are the advantages of going with respect to inheritance. Okay. Right. So according to a definition, the inheritance says that if okay if one class is acquiring the properties of another class, right, then this process is called as inheritance. That means there will be a one class, so that particular class will be acquiring a properties from a some other class, right. What is the necessity why it has to acquire a properties? First of all, what does a property means, right? So what kind of a properties does a some class will acquire from a someone else class, right? So here whatever the properties we are saying, right, so here in this context properties is nothing but instance variables. Properties is nothing but the methods associated with the class, right? So now what does the definition says is if one class is able to acquire these properties, if one class is able to acquire these properties like instance variables or methods, then that process is nothing but inheritance, right? So why you require inheritance? Can't we do the things without using inheritance? Means is it necessary to go with the inheritance, right? So let us just understand a small scenario. Say for example, you are developing an application for a something called as something like a bank loan, right? You wanted to develop an application for a bank loan, right? So when application has to be developed for a bank loan, you need to understand what are the different types of a loans you have, right? So for a namesake, let me just some list of loans, something like personal loan, okay, so something like house loan, type of a loan, right? Just assume that I have these two different types of loans with me, right? Now I started implementing these particular classes, right? So just assume that for a class called as personal loan, right? So there is some class called a personal loan, right? So under this particular personal loan, I wrote some 200 methods, right? I have a class called a personal loan. So under this particular personal loan class, I got some 200 methods. Similarly, I have a something called as a house loan, right? So even in this particular house loan class, I have got some 200 methods again, right? So by including all these methods, that means by including all these classes, I will be having a one more main class, right? So for a time being, don't worry about a main class. This is the requirement, or this is the thing which I have developed now, okay? So now after developing a 400 methods, now I am talking about both the types of loans, right? So when I have developed a 400 different, so means 400 methods with respect to both the loans, right? After developing, I came to know that out of these 400 methods, right? Be clear with a scenario. So later we can relate how this particular scenario can be overcome with the concept of inheritance. Okay. So what I said is for right. So after developing the 400 methods, I felt like whatever the 200 methods are there in a personal loan, whatever the 200 methods were there in a personal loan, most of our methods, right? Most of our methods, around 150 methods were common with respect to house loan, right? So be clear with the requirement, be clear with the scenario what I'm explaining. I said that you have a class called a personal loan and you have a class called a house loan, right? So now what I'm saying is I have implemented some 200 methods in a personal loan and also implemented some 200 methods in a house loan also, right? After implementing, I thought that 150 methods were common between these two, right? So now whatever the instructions that I have written with respect to these particular 150 methods, are they duplicate things? Are they duplicate now? 150 methods are common for both the things. Personal loan also has got those 150 methods, and even house loan is also having those 150 methods, right? Instead of writing a definition for those 150 methods again, can't I just import those 150 methods from a personal loan to a house loan, and whichever 50 different methods are there, can't I implement those things separately? Understood the scenario, right? So what I'm saying is, out of these 400 methods, right? So 150 methods are common, right? So now what I can do is, in with respect to house loan, I can import those 150 methods, right? I'm importing those 150 methods, import 150 methods. From where I have to import, right? So from a personal loan class, I have to import 150 methods. After importing, I need to give a implementation for the remaining 50 different methods, right? So now how to use this particular part, that means how to import all these methods of a personal loan, right? So to import all these methods of a one class, is this a class, right? Okay, to import or to add, so means to achieve or to get the properties of a one particular class into another, right? You will be using the concept of inheritance, right? And how that particular inheritance will be done, so for that you will have a keyword called as extends. Okay, if you are using a extends, right, what I'm saying is we need to use a keyword called extends, right? Using a extends, if I am writing personal underscore loan, 1 second. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you want to import or if you want to acquire the properties of a one class into another class, you will be using a keyword called extends, right? And this process of acquiring a properties of a one class into another class is nothing but a inheritance, right? So what are the things we have discussed is why, so means we have discussed the definition of an inheritance, and we have seen why we have to go with an inheritance, and we have seen which keyword is used to achieve an inheritance. We have not seen any working example. If you have any questions with respect to these 3 points, you can post those questions in the chat box. If you don't have a questions, then we will go through the points in the slide, then we will discuss what are the different types of inheritance that a Java supports, right? So till this point, if you have any questions, you can post those questions in the chat box.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, when you are using class house underscore loan extend personal loan, then inside this inside the bracket we can use 400 methods.
Yeah, after giving an implementation for these 50 methods, I can use all 400 methods. See, once I say extend means whatever the methods that are defined in a loan, so means this personal loan class, all those methods will be available for me here in a house loan, right? So that is actually the concept of inheritance. That means acquiring the properties of your parent class into the child class is nothing but an inheritance. Yes. Shall we proceed with the points in the slides, and then we will see different types of inheritance. And one more thing, whatever we are discussing today is just an introduction. So based on this particular introduction, in the next classes, we need to discuss a lot more programs, right? So be clear with the introduction, and be clear with what is the purpose, right? And you may ask a question like, can't we write a program without using inheritance? Yes, obviously you can write a program without using inheritance, but the problem is your code length will be a very big if you are not going with the inheritance concept, and you are going to reduce the readability of the program, right? So all these concepts, either a constructors or a constructor overloading or a method overloading in our classes, and these particular inheritance concepts. So all these concepts are came into a picture just to make a code more readable, and just to increase the performance of your code, right? So don't keep any doubts. This is used to just remove redundant instructions in the program, right? If any unwanted, some means repeated instructions are there, so to remove all those instructions and to reduce the time taken for implementation, so these concepts came into a picture. Shall we go through the slides? Yes. So inheritance in a Java is the process by which one class acquires the properties of another class, right? So here you have a diagram. So there will be a class called a vehicle. So this particular vehicle, this two-wheeler class is inheriting the properties of a vehicle. That means whenever you want to say something as a two-wheeler, basically it should be a vehicle first, then it will be having the properties of a two-wheeler, all those things, right? So in a similar lines, three-wheeler, four-wheeler. Once we take a one example, you can easily relate how exactly these things are working. Okay. So I have shown you one example. So where we have written something like a class personal loan, and then we have written something like a class house loan, right? Now what I can say is your personal loan acts as, see, 1 second, let me just show you the example which we wrote there in the notepad, right? So now if I am doing a extends in the sense this particular house loan is extending the properties of a personal loan, right? So in this case, this particular personal loan class will become something called as superclass. Superclass in the sense this is a class from which you are acquiring the properties, right? And this particular house loan class, which is acquiring the properties from a personal loan, this will become a something called as subclass, right? Superclass is nothing but the main class from which you are acquiring the properties, right? And the subclass is a class which is actually extending the properties from a superclass, right? Simple terminology. Super because it has got all the implementation, super. Subclass because it is acquiring a few properties from a superclass. Okay. And what is the purpose of doing all these things? What is the purpose of inheriting and all these things? Purpose is just I wanted to achieve something called as code reusability, right? So let us just go through the slides, right? Superclass. This is a class whose features are inherited is known as a superclass. From whichever class you are going to inherit a properties, so that particular class is called as superclass. And then subclass, right? So the class that inherits the other class is known as a subclass or a derived class or an extended class or child class, right? So different names for that. Okay. So the subclass can add its own fields and the methods in addition to the superclass fields and the methods, right? So we have seen an example. It was taking all the properties, so means 150 methods, it was a completely, so means all the methods which are defined in a parent class, it was taking those things, and additional 50 methods it was implementing by itself, right? So what was the purpose of doing all these things? The purpose of doing all these things is just a code reusability, right? So first let us see a small example which shows these particular concepts. Whatever we have discussed till now, we should be clear with what is a superclass, what is a subclass, and we need to be clear with how that particular extend keywords works, right? If we are clear with all these points, then we will see what are the different types of inheritance that are supported by the Java, right? So let us quickly see a simple program, then we will discuss further. Okay, so here I have just made one class inherit demo, and I wrote some public static void main method. Nothing else has been implemented, right? Now what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a two classes. One class will be a parent class and another class will be a child class. Okay, parent class will be having a one method and a child class will also have a one method. Okay, so child class, let it extend parent class, and let us try to access the method in a parent class through the child class, right? So let me write the instructions, you will get a clarity. Class parent, I said this is a parent class. So inside of this particular parent class, let me write some method called a m1, right? So within this particular m1, I'll not write any implementation part, just I will write a one println statement saying that from m1 of class parent, right? So normal statement. Okay, now let me copy this particular method. Let me create one more class which is called as child class, right? So in this child class, let me paste a method which I have defined already, and let me rename this one to a m2, right? So let me write this one as this is a method m2 from child class, right? So not done anything extra, so just define the two classes, and each class is having a one method, right? So parent is having a method m1 and a child is having a method m2, right? So in those methods also we just wrote some system.out.println statements, right? Now are we extending a child class? Not written any extends, right? So now these two classes are different. Okay, if I want to access a m2, what has to be done? If I want to access a m2, I have to create object of a child is equal to new child, right? By using this particular object, I can access this particular m2. I'm just cross checking whether a program is working fine or not. Are there any syntax errors or what? Working fine. I'm able to access this particular method called im2 from the child, right? So when I am able to access this particular method, so by creating a parent object, I can access that particular m1 also, right? So let us go to a concept of an inheritance now, right? So what does the inheritance says? If one class acquires the properties of other class, then it is called as the inheritance, right? So let me use keyword called extends is a keyword. Which properties, which class properties it has to extend? It has to extend the class properties of parent class, right? So once I say class child extends parent, right? So what does it means? The properties of this particular parent class now available with respect to a child class, right? So what does it mean? The property, what was the property? The property m1, now it is available with respect to this particular child also. Wow. So shall we just cross check? How to cross check, right? Now if that is the true, if m1 is available with respect to this particular child class, then can I access that particular m1 using an object of a child? Where is m1 written? Where is the definition of m1 given? The definition of m1 was given in a parent class, right? Which object you are creating here? You are creating object of a child class, right? Using a which object you are calling a M1? Using a child class object you are calling a M1. If this is executing, and if it is giving you an answer saying that this is the output of a program, right? You are calling that particular M1 and M2, right? If these two things are working, then what does it says? It justifies that this particular M1 method can be accessed now from this particular child class also, right? Shall we just look into a conclusion? Will it work or not? Whether a inheritance concept is working fine or not? Whether am I able to access a method M1 which is defined in a parent class by extending it in a child class? Wow, so many conclusions. Executed fine, so means compiled fine. See, now I am able to get a message from a M2 of a class child, because that was the first method which I called using a child class object, and the next from a M1 of a class parent. That means by creating an object of a child, I am able to access both the methods, right? So this is the example, simple example, which justifies whatever the statements we have discussed till now, right? So I will tell you what are the things we have discussed as a summary. First, we said that the definition of an inheritance is inheriting the properties of one class into another class. That is nothing but a process of an inheritance. The second one, this particular process of inheritance can be done by using a keyword called a extends, right? So we have already said that the properties of a parent class will now be available. That means if you are using extends keyword, so the properties of your parent class, now it will be available in a child class also, right? So if you have any questions with respect to a basic example, you can ask those questions. If you don't have a questions, then we will see what are the different types of inheritance.
Sir, can you explain from this class inherit demo from that, sir, once more?
Class inherit demo.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Are you clear with both the classes, like
Yes, sir.
parent class and a child class?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now what I'm doing is I just wanted to access those methods, right? So till this point it is clear, right? If you consider I don't have any objects created in the main method.
Yes,
Right?
sir. It's clear.
Now,
Yes.
now if I want to call this particular method M1, if I want to call a method M1, I need to create object of this particular class, then I have to call a M1, right? So let me write that statement. What I'm saying is, if I want to access parent class, let me write a name of a object as a P itself, new parent, right? So now this is the object created with respect to parent class. Okay. If I want to call the method of M1, I can call in this fashion. That means I'm using object of a parent. By using object as a reference, I'm calling a M1, right? So what I'm doing now, I have created object of this parent. I have called this particular M1 method, which is defined in a parent. Okay. So let me just cross check, will it work fine or not? That means, am I able to call that particular method or not? No errors, that is an exception, no problem. Yes, I am able to call that particular method. Okay. Now, my question is, if I am creating a child class object, child C is equal to new child. Is it the object of a child class? Right? So what are the methods that are defined in a child class? According to definition, you have got only M2 defined in a child class. Correct? But even though if you have just defined a M2, you are extending a parent class, right? When you are extending a parent class, we said that the property is defined in a parent, now it will be available with respect to child also, right? According to that particular statement, I am saying that this M1, now it will be available here also, right? So after this particular statement extends, after I write extends, your internal program will be something like this, right? I'm just copy pasting, but internally it will not be the case, right? Internally, this is how the program looks like. Okay, so this particular method now it will be available with respect to a child class also, right? No need to copy paste that one, but if you are using a just extends keyword, your JVM will do this particular work for you automatically, right? So now what I'm saying is, by creating an object of a child class, I can directly access the method m1 which was defined in a parent, right? So by using the same object, I can access the method m2 which was a local method definition for a child class, right? If I just compile and check my program, now child class object will have a capacity to access both the methods defined in a parent and a child. Hope I clarified your doubt.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Yes, got some question. Sir, can we access the variables also? Yes, we can access the variables also. And we will discuss in detail what are the things based on access specifiers, what are the things applicable to be accessed and all in later classes. Sir, order of a class execute. Brahan, we will discuss that one with by taking some constructors in a class, then we will discuss that. I'm just asking a questions with respect to basics of a introduction. Sir, what if both methods have the same name? Very good question, Jagdish. What if both methods have same name? Okay. Listen. Keep one point in mind. You will be extending your parent class. You will be extending your parent class only if you want to have some methods from a parent to a child, right? It will be a something like, say for example, you are collecting some coins, right? A few people will be having a habit of collecting the coins, right? You will be collecting only those coins which you don't have, right? That is a general strategy. If you are very eager to have a duplicate copies of a coins, no problem in that. But I'm saying usual strategy is you will be collecting a coins, only those coins which you don't have. That means what I'm saying is, if already implementation is parent, when you are to a child, right? When that implementation comes to a child, don't give a one more definition for it, right? When you are using a extends keyword, this particular m1 now it will be available for your child class also, right? When a m1 is already available, don't again give a definition for that particular m1, because system will throw you a compile method saying that there are two methods with the same name. Good questions asked. Any other questions? Shall we see quickly different types of inheritance?
Sir,
Yes.
can we use the parents extend child?
Can we use?
Yeah.
I didn't get your question. Can we use?
Can we use, like, instead of using extend in the second class child, we should use this extend
You
and the
mean to
first
say
class in parents.
class parent extend child?
Yes.
Can be done, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Why we are taking example in this particular strategy is it is a general terminology. Like usually children will be getting a few properties from a parent, like a bank balance, all those things, right? So to relate to that particular scenario, we will be taking a superclass as a parent and a subclass as a child. Okay, so now a small question. Actually, that is not a, important question. Need to be discussed. Just for a one conclusion to be added. Can I write statement something like this? Parent P is equal to new parent. Am I creating object of a parent class? Right. By using the object of a parent class, can I execute the M2 method where the M2 method has been defined? Can I write? Can I execute a statement something like this? Is it feasible to do by create of a P that is a parent class?
Yes, sir, we can use.
Yes, sir. We
Can
can
we?
use.
Can we use? Okay. So what is the definition of a inheritance? Inheritance says that one class can acquire the properties of another class. Okay. And what a conclusion I said, once you are using the extends keyword, internally the program looks at something as if you have copied this particular M1 here, right? I didn't say like both M1 and M2 will be available in a parent also. I just said that from now onwards, after writing extends keyword, I said that from a child class, you can have a both M1 and a M2. Right? So let us just run this program and cross check what might be the output if I'm trying to access the child class method by creating object of a parent. What it is saying? Cannot find a symbol p.m2. Right? So it is saying that variable p is of type parent. Using a parent class object, you cannot access the members of a child class. But a child class can access the members of a parent class. Right? So what I said is, when you are creating object of a parent, right? By using a parent class object, you can access the methods. Means when you are creating a parent class object, you can just access by using that particular object, you can just access those methods. If it is a child class, if it is inheriting a properties, then only you can access all those methods. Sir, what if we extend for both the classes? Can be done, no problem in that. Then you will be having those two methods defined in both the classes. We will see different types of inheritance. That will become something like a dependency. Right? Are you clear with this particular scenario? No, that's right. Shall we see the different types of inheritance then? Any conclusions to be drawn with respect to this example? I think this is clear now. Right. So keep one point in your mind. When you are creating a parent using this particular object, you can access these members. See, this is a simple scenario, something like this. Say for example, parent class is nothing but your parent, and child class is nothing but yourself, right? So you can extend in the sense you are extending the properties of your parent. That means, say for example, your dad gives you a pocket money, right? That is feasible. That means you can take a money from your parent, right? Reverse is not possible. Reverse is not feasible. If he asks you sometime give me some money, so you will not give the money returned to your parent, right? So the properties of a parent can be accessed by a child when you are using extends, right? When you are creating object of a parent, so this particular object can access only these members. It cannot access the members of a child class, right? Okay. So with respect to this example, how many different classes we have defined? Two classes we have defined. One is a parent class and another one is a child class, right? So which class is extending which class? Your child class is extending parent class, right? So keep this one in the mind. Let us quickly see the different types of your inheritance, right? So types of inheritance. First one is a single. That means if a class B, right? Be clear with the notations. What are this particular single inheritance says is there is a something called as a class B. This class B is inheriting a properties from a class A, right? So understand the arrow mark in a proper way. So this says that this particular class B is inheriting a properties of a class A, right? Multi-level. See, this is a level 1, level 2, level 3. multi-level, right? In this case, there is a class C which is inheriting the properties of a class B, and in turn your class B is inheriting the properties from a class A. Can you imagine the program? If someone asks you to write a program to explain a different types of inheritance, right? Are you in a position with respect to example whichever we have seen, which type of inheritance we have used? We have used something like this. We have used a single inheritance, right? So your class child, with respect to this particular diagram, class B was a child class, right? And the class A is nothing but a parent class. That is your single inheritance, right? When it comes to a multi-level inheritance, right? So there will be a class C which inherits properties from a class B, and there in turn this particular class B is inheriting the properties from a class A, right? Can you understand how these particular statements will be written? Imagine a program, right? You can write in your own statements by writing some M&M to all those methods. You have a third category, right? So which is called as hierarchical. What does the hierarchical says is there are two classes. One is a class B and another one is a class C, and both these two classes are inheriting properties from a parent class which is called as class A. Be clear with the diagram, because in examination there are chances something like they will show you one diagram and they will tell you to write a program, write an implementation for this particular class diagram, right? So this diagram is nothing but a class diagram, right? So it will just show you the dependability between the classes, right? So according to hierarchical inheritance, what is the statement, what does the diagram defines is you have two different classes which are called as a class B and a class C, and these two classes are inheriting the properties from a class A, right? Shall we just see into a diagrammatical representation? Yes. If you want to go with a single inheritance, there will be a class A and a public class B extends class A. This is what we have done with respect to our example also. In our example, we wrote something called as a public parent first, then we have written public child extends A. We didn't use a public, we just wrote a class child extends parent, right? So that was a single inheritance. If I want to go with a multi-level inheritance, then there will be a class A, class B extends class A, and a class C extends B. Now this particular class C will be having the properties defined in both A class and a B class. Understood? Clear with the things? Single inheritance, multi-level inheritance? Yes. With respect to hierarchical inheritance, we said that there will be two classes which is called as a B and a C. B and a C are there and they are extending your class A. Both the things are extending class A, right? When you are writing a program, be clear how, in which way you are extending what class, right? Here, with respect to hierarchical, if I am writing class C extends A, instead of writing A, if I write a B, then you are talking about multi-level inheritance, right? So be clear with the difference between these two notations, like when it will be a multi-level and when it will be a hierarchical. Question: in the multi-level type, all the methods of A is available to B is also available to C. Yes, that is what I said. With respect to this multi-level, this particular C is extending a B, right? In turn, this B is extending A, right? So what does it mean? Now this particular class C will be having all the properties defined in both A and a B, right? So by just creating object of a C, you can access the methods defined in a and B and even C also, Clear with a multi-level hierarchical, there will be a slight difference when you are writing a program, and you should be very conscious with respect to that particular change. If you are just changing one class name, the way of, so means the implementation of an inheritance will be a completely new type of an inheritance, right? So if you observe these two statements here, public class C extends B. Instead of writing a B, if you are writing A, then you are talking about hierarchical inheritance. Clear with the things?
Sir,
Yes.
in multi-level inheritance,
Yeah. Done.
uh, is it indirectly can we access the class A?
Yeah, that only I told you. The members of your A, if you are doing this particular extension, the members of a class A can be accessed by a C.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. This is like a, this multi-level inheritance you can relate to a, something like the property from your grandparent has come to your father, and from your father you are taking that particular property, right? So now if I talk about the property of a C, it will be having a accumulated property of A and B. Okay, so let us quickly see the last part, the last type of inheritance. What was that type? Multiple inheritance, right? So remember this particular diagram, multiple inheritance is nothing but there will be a one class which will be acquiring the properties from a two different classes, right? So let me repeat the statement. What I'm saying is, when you are talking about a multiple inheritance, multiple, that means more than one. That means one class is acquiring the properties from a more than one class. Yes. Let us just cross check. Does your Java supports these kind of things, or if it is not supporting, then why it is not supporting? Right. So I told you already have an idea of that particular structure. So let us take these things with different names. I hope editor is visible. Right. I have a something called as a class A, right? And a class B. See, now we need to have a three classes. Let me create a three classes first. Later we will see which class extends what. Okay, so this is, let me just copy paste this particular part, copy paste, right? So now this particular class is a class C, and a method defined within this particular class is M3, right? M3 of a child class. Okay, let it be. So what we have done, we have defined a three classes ABC, and the three classes has got a three different methods, M1, M2 and M3. Right. So what is the structure now? There should be a class C which extends the properties from a two different classes. Right? Okay. So how the instruction need to be written? Extends. It has to extend from a two different classes. I have to write a something called as A comma B. Right? So what does it means? Class C is extending the properties from both the classes A and B. Right. Now, let us assume that this is not the scenario every time it will be having M1 and it will be having M2. This may not be a scenario. Say for example, even this particular B is also having a method called M1. Is it not possible to have a method called M1 in a B? So possible. There is a chance. See, these are independent. Class A is independent, class A is independent, class B is independent. When these are independent classes, there might be independent methods in that one. I'm not extending a B with A. I'm not saying like a class B extends A, right? If that was the case, then I need to take care that in a A already M1 was there. Why I will be writing a M1 again in a class B, right? Now this is not my scenario. What is my scenario? Both the classes are independent. And both classes has got a method called a M1. What is the problem in that? Right? Now, if I'm using a class C extends A comma B, right? So what are the methods that class C has to acquire now? It has to acquire methods of A and it has to acquire methods of a B also, right? So what is the name of a method now? M1, right? When you have a two, so means there is a possibility such that both the classes might have the same method defined in them, right? Are we creating ambiguity here?
Sir, can you explain again because I got confused?
You got confused. Okay. Yeah. So initially, how was the scenario? It was a something like this, right? I didn't extended anything. So these three are independent classes. Okay, and these three independent classes has got independent methods in them, right? Now what I'm saying is, according to multiple inheritance in the sense one class should get the properties from a more than one class, right? Now what I will tell is extends a comma b, right? So now what a C is doing, it is extending the properties from both the classes A and B, right? So this is what the multiple inheritance is, right? Now, so till now it is clear, right? Multiple inheritance,
Yes, sir.
right? Now the thing is, say for example, whether these class 1 and a class 2 are independent classes.
Yes.
Independent classes, they are class B. Now when it is an independent class, right, when it is an independent class, there is a chance that it be having an implementation with respect to M1, right? When this particular class B is also having a method called a M1 which is already there in A, right? Now the problem will not be there with respect to these two classes. The problem will come for the class called a C, right? So what is the problem? It will be in a confusion which M1 need to be taken. Either a M1 of a class A need to be taken or a M1 of a class B need to be taken, because within a scope, so means there is no concept of two methods with the same name and the same signature. If the signature are different, then it is called as a method overloading, right? So now this particular class C will be in a confusion whether to consider a M1 of a B class or M1 of a class A, right? So there is a existence of ambiguity. So that is the reason why Java directly won't support what is called as multiple inheritance, right? Be clear with the terminologies. Multiple in the sense more than one class, right? It is acquiring the properties from a more than one class, right? So this writing one class name comma another class name with respect to extents is not supported. Multiple inheritance not supported, because it is not supported just because there might be a possibility of ambiguity with respect to the methods. That is the only reason why your Java doesn't support multiple inheritance.
Sir, in class B, we cannot change the M1 and M2.
We can change.
Then it will support or not?
Even Brahan has asked the same question. I am saying that see, when it is implementing some concept, means that particular concept should be valid for all the different possible cases, right? What I am saying is possibility of ambiguity. Okay, so let me conclude. What I was saying is, even though if you have a M1 and a M2 here, then also it won't support. The concept of a multiple inheritance is not supported directly from a class inheritance. And why it is not supported is just because there might be a possibility of ambiguity that has been created with respect to a method names. Am I clear, Shaif?
Yes, sir.
Clear, right? Even though you have a different method names defined, so it will not be supporting just because it will think that further there might be a problem with
Yes, sir,
respect to
clear.
ambiguity of a methods, so it won't support a multiple inheritance, right? Now if any question is asked, something like what is the inheritance, explain different types of inheritance with an example program, right? You should be in a position to write a definition. What is a single inheritance? A small program. Multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance. Multiple is not supported, right? So these are the things which we have discussed in today's class. Thanks for your time and thanks for making the session interactive.